There's a certain expectation a lot of us place on ourselves to put on a happy face, to make do with the circumstance, to find the positives and focus on that. But nobody talks about how by not allowing yourself to grieve your old body, to grieve other things you've lost, you're probably only going to make things worse. I know you don't need my permission, but I'm going to say this anyway. You are allowed to be sad. You're allowed to be angry. You're allowed to miss the life and the body you imagined for yourself. You're allowed to grieve. And if you're not letting yourself because you're afraid it'll make other people feel maybe uncomfortable, I want you to know with every fiber in my body that their comfort is not your responsibility. Your health is. It was written by a lady on Instagram. She goes by the handle of Unwell Thank You. All one word. I suggest follow if you're on Instagram. Because see, grieving our old self is allowed, but we've lost more than just our former selves. We've lost our ability to know what tomorrow holds. And that's what we're talking about tonight on Invisible No More. Welcome back to another episode of Invisible No More right here on the Eclipse Pain Network. My name is Keith Johnson. I am your host tonight, and I hope you're doing well today. I hope you found some victories today. If you're new to Invisible, what is Invisible? Invisible, simply put, is the safest place on the internet for anybody dealing with an invisible diagnosis, invisible symptoms, chronic pain, chronic illness, mental health struggles, those type of things, where we don't have that extra forearm or hand growing out of our forehead for people to say, oh my gosh, what's going on with you? Because our diagnoses, our symptoms are invisible. And, you know, grieving our old self is something that I think needs to be done. Like I said, you don't need my permission, but if you want it, there you go, you have it. We have to grieve that loss. But see, I think there's more to us just grieving the old selves or grieving the selves that just never happened because of our diagnoses, because of our symptoms, because there's so many more things that we lose. And tonight I want to talk about one of those. We lose predictability. Think about it. We lose complete predictability as well as control in a lot of ways. See, before I got sick, life was kind of linear. I put in the work, I got the result. For example, I hated my job. I hated driving for the company I drove for over the road, but the pay was really, really good. So I stuck with it because there was a really great incentive to stick with it. I put in the work, I did well financially. I would go to the gym, and I truly hated working out, but I got a positive benefit out of it, right? It was predictable. Go to the gym, work out, my body's in better shape, even though mentally I hated doing it. But I think myself and a lot of other invisibles out there, once we got that diagnosis or once those symptoms were actually recognized, that logical contract with the universe just got voided. That kind of shit can, you know? I mean... Because, simply, we're taught if we overdo it with our diagnosis or our symptoms, or we stay up too late or we push too hard on a chore, there's a price to pay, and we do pay that price. And a lot of us pay that price willingly. How many times have I said that? Have I encouraged people to go make the memories, even though we know making the memories is going to suck? The cost of making the memories is going to suck, but we've got to go make those memories, right? Because, see, even though we do everything right, even when we pace ourselves, when we stay within our allotment of spoons for the day, we stay within our energy allotment for the day, and we do everything right, we follow our plan, we still wake up the next day in the worst flare we've had in years, even though we've done nothing wrong. We've lost that predictability. If you've been around Invisible for any time at all, you've probably heard of the Grief Project we did maybe a year ago. It was one of the most powerful things ever, and we were wanting to do it again. We just can't find volunteers to do it because, quite honestly, going through the 5 stages of grief in 5 days is a really tough thing to do. So if you've been around, you may know what they are, but if you don't, there are supposedly 5 stages of grief. Denial, anger, bargaining, depression, acceptance. But I feel too often we put all of that grief just on losing who we were or who we thought we were going to be, because I feel we need to be grieving losing a whole ton more things. And predictability to me is just one of those things that we need to acknowledge and to grieve. Because if we're honest with ourselves, it's more than just the person that we feel we've lost. There are so many other things. We just have to look a little closer. And predictability is there. I mean, we talk about the invisible nature of our symptoms and the invisible nature of our diagnoses, right? But the unpredictable way our diagnosis and those symptoms shift our lives is just as invisible to the rest of the world, just as invisible to our partners, just as invisible to our boss, to society. Because when you can't predict your own physical state, you lose your autonomy. You lose you. You're losing more than just your health. It's deep and it hurts. And it hurts to wake up and know that you may not even be able to have a conversation that day, much less take a shower, much less be the version of yourself that you want to really be. And y'all, to me, and I think to a lot of us, losing predictability encompasses a lot more than just waking up to a sudden flare. It's a wide range of things. Like the other day, chronically Janina, I think that's who it was. She was talking about out of nowhere, her entire schedule, her day got rocked by a simple notification, a simple phone call. Hey, good morning. You have 24 hours to report for a UA and a pill count. I mean, first of all, think about it. Most visibles couldn't imagine a doctor calling them and saying, hey, come in here and pee in a cup. I need to see what you're taking. Or come in and bring all the meds I've ever written you, and so we can make sure you're taking them as prescribed. How many visibles would see that as a common occurrence versus how many invisibles, especially chronic pain patients, have that happen? You know, and it may not rock your whole life, even though the psych impact on me is great. Now I have to prove once again that I'm sick. I have to prove once again that I'm hurting. I have to prove that I'm trustworthy with my medicine. That's a whole other presentation. That's a whole other monologue, you know. But again, most visibles can't even imagine doing that, you know. And it's not always just a minor thing, right? Like, it's a 2-hour drive for me to get to my doctor's office. For others, you know, what if you had that day planned finally and you're feeling good and you're going to go, you've already planned the day out with your kids at Six Flags. But now your health crisis, your health condition, your diagnosis, your symptoms are forcing you to cancel making those memories with your family so you can go pee in a cup. So you can go prove to your care team that you're trustworthy. Because see, your day that you had planned to make the memories with your kids just got canceled because of your diagnosis. That's unpredictability. It's not having control. And that sucks. But it also ranges, you know, from calls like that to like, I can remember telling people in my inner circle, you know, going up to them, you know what, this just isn't fair. I feel like crap. I feel like I got run over by a train and I didn't do a damn thing to cause this, but I'm in this massive flare, only to have them reply with, hey dude, your body's jacked up, man. You don't have to do anything to feel like you do. And while I appreciate them acknowledging that, to me it's a kick in the gut. Because again, my diagnoses are causing me to have to be put in a position where other people aren't. Where I didn't do anything wrong, yet my life is being upended, my schedule, my family's life, my work schedule, my everything is impacted by it because I don't have control over it because I've lost that predictability. You know, and my friends tell me, you know, hey, your body's jacked up, man. You don't have to do anything. They don't understand one simple thing, and it's about victories, and that's why we always celebrate victories in all of our lives, whether it's getting a unicorn doctor or it's brushing your teeth that day. It's because they don't understand that to us, a victory isn't a promotion or going on a fancy vacation. For the majority of us, a victory is just finding the energy to get that damn shower, right? They don't understand because they don't scream when they stub their toe that they think we shouldn't be able to scream when our nerve pain hits an 8. There again, once again, we have more ableism in the world that we face, right? They can't understand that pain is individual, or an illness is individual, or POTS and what it does, or EDS and what it does to our bodies. And if they can't understand it, they can't explain it, they can't understand it, and they can't imagine it. They don't see just how we've lost ourselves, but we've lost so many other things like predictability. So how do we deal with this? How do we deal with losing the predictability? I wish I had some simple ways that we could just snap our fingers, and get all that predictability back. I mean, because how do we live with this? Is there a way to deal with the chaos in it? And honestly, I don't have any quick fixes. I don't have any quick answers. So I wanted to bring the topic up so we can talk about it. Do you have ways that you battle it, that you win this battle? Because it sucks. I mean, there's a couple of theories out there. Radical acceptance is what they call it. It's not about being happy about the pain or the illness or the diagnosis. It's about acknowledging that it's unpredictable and that it's part of the territory, so we can stop fighting the reality of having bad days. We can find validation through community, through groups like Invisible No More or other support groups that are out there. Well, I found that sharing my story is the only real armor that I have, that when I share my victories, even if it's just getting a shower, or that I didn't lose my mind today, that it can build hope for tomorrow. And another technique to combat it, as I would include this in what Dr. Mike says is a 3-minute story, a summary, using our ability to tell our care team in short, succinct little messages what's going on and why we're there that day. So to kind of keep from getting lost in the medical system, I do try to keep a diary, a summary of what's been going on, what I've tried, and what I was doing going up into this flare. It doesn't fix the flare, but by documenting it and everything that was associated with it and taking that to my care team does give me hope that working with my care team, we can find things that I may have missed that may have triggered that flare. Like I said, those aren't fix-alls. Those aren't like one big simple thing we can do, right? But it takes work. What do you do? Leave a message in the comments. Message me or email me, keithcpp@gmail.com, because I want to learn. I need to learn from this community, which has so many great ideas. This community that's been so successful in a lot of ways. Share your stories. See, when we mask our pain or we mask our diagnosis or we mask our symptoms, we do it because we don't want to be a burden. And yet, by doing that, we typically end up even more isolated. So my challenge for everyone today is stop trying to predict the unpredictable. Start being honest about it. Take the mask off. Because whether we're having a good day or we're in the middle of the world's crappiest flare, we deserve to be heard. Remember what Unwell said when I read what she wrote at the beginning. If you're not letting yourself show what's going on because you're afraid it will make others feel uncomfortable, I want you to know that their comfort is not your responsibility. Your health is. That's one of the big things about Invisible that we try to do. We've been invisible for so long. We've been quiet. We've been compliant. We've done everything. We've been polite. And it hasn't gotten us anywhere. We need to be able to be comfortable in taking that mask off and exposing ourselves and showing people not only who we are, where we are, and what we're doing, but that we're losing things. We've not just lost ourselves, we've lost so much more, including things like predictability. So thanks for being here tonight. Thanks for joining us on Invisible No More tonight. Thank you for being part of this community that's loving and caring and so supportive. This wasn't an intentional thing to start, but I can guarantee you this community has saved my life more times than I can count. If you have any questions, if you're struggling, reach out. This is all free. There's no Patreon to join. There's no GoFundMes. It's run by a group of people just like you, people that are invisible. Our diagnosis may be different, but our desire to be better every day is just as strong as yours. And working together, we can find ways to do that. I love you guys. I hope you found your victory today. And if you didn't, I pray that you find it tomorrow because you deserve it. And we'll talk soon. Y'all be safe. We'll see you. Peace.